And we're live. What up, Miles? The Hoop Report, episode 2. Miles, check it out. I got new shoes, came in the mail. The Hoka Clifton 5.
Ooh.
I mean,
people are still buying Hokas.
Hey, I'm trying it out. They're all cushiony. I've been a Nike supporter for since I've been running. Saucony. I haven't tried Hoka yet.
Still Asics. Asics for me.
Yeah, Asics. Miles and I ran track together in college back in the day. Probably a year out, I'd say, year and a half. The real life. I'm in Chicago. Yeah. Miles, where you at?
I'm in St. Louis right now. St. Louis is awesome. Ate at Pappy's barbecue. You got to go there. It's amazing. So I had like a half rack of ribs, and then I had burnt ends, and the barbecue sauce in St. Louis is really sweet, and it's got like the perfect amount of spice. It's amazing. And then I had coleslaw, which they do different here. It's like a vinegar based instead of mayonnaise.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's strange, but it's really good. The food here is incredible. And then I had a weird experience today. So I drive up to my job site, and we were expecting a warehouse like normal. Drive a cave. It's in a place called Rock City. That's what they call it. So it's amazing. It's 6 million square feet of like hollowed out mine, and they put refrigerated warehouses in there because it's really easy to control the temperature and stuff. So it's 35 degrees in there. Freezing. I was in there for 10 hours. My buddy that I'm working with is originally from Germany. He was born in Germany. And he sees this place. He goes, "Oh, we should go get legit German food." He was looking at the menu and everything. And he goes, "These people make really authentic food. Like, you don't see the stuff on a menu unless they're actually German." I was like, "Yeah, sure." Go to this place, and it's this German cottage type house, and the guy has Mercedes project cars all over his lot. We walk in. I wish I could describe it. How cluttered it was, and the amount of weird German memorabilia. There was swords, heads on the wall, an organ, weird figurines everywhere.
This is in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah. A hole in the wall. It's insane. Like a lot more Hitler than I thought I was going to see.
Oh, gosh.
German insignia everywhere. It's a really friendly place. It turns out it was incredible food, but I cannot explain to you how bizarre it felt. They were playing like German accordion music. It was strange.
Okay, so I think, oh my gosh, Miles, this whole time that you've been going on your story, I've been trying to figure out how to do the auto cameraman. So now you say something right now.
Okay, I'm saying something right now.
Okay, see, it switched. It hasn't been doing that.
What's happening?
It was on you the whole time because I didn't set it to the automatic camera time. So they haven't seen me. Hi. Today we're going to talk Phoenix Suns. Phoenix has actually been, Miles is a Phoenix boy. Miles is from Arizona.
So, yeah, I'm very excited about this Phoenix team now. Our first one about Sacramento was not good. We're hopefully going to make up for that one with this one.
Well, Sacramento's not good, so that's fine. So Phoenix had the number 1 pick. They took DeAndre Ayton.
Yep.
First of all, we can just start there. What do you think he's gonna? What do you think he's gonna look like year 1?
Watching DeAndre in summer league, his maturity level is through the roof. He flat outplayed the Sacramento guy, what's his name? Marvin Bagley. And he outclassed him, I thought. Bagley looked hectic, and Ayton looked so smooth and composed, like he belonged there.
Yeah, and
what I like about Ayton in his college career was I saw 2 fouls a game, like low 2.2 or something. And that is impressive for a guy that's 7'1" and 250 pounds. For him to be that disciplined, and he stays on the ground. He's got incredible length.
He's just a different athlete too. He's just you just can't compared to Marvin Bagley even too. You just can't compare them. He's like a Willie Cauley-Stein the way he can run and jump. Almost like a Dwight Howard with these huge shoulders. I mean, I remember when he played Oregon and Oregon really didn't have a big man at the time. Jordan Bell graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there, really, Troy Brown, pick out of the 15th, 16th picks from the Wizards. He was probably, he was playing some small ball 4 for them. I mean, Oregon was not big at all. And DeAndre Ayton just single-handedly took that game over. And that was the game that Sean Miller was suspended for. And DeAndre Ayton was allegedly the reason why, with his $100,000 bribe that he played through.
Yeah, that one just kind of got swept under the rug, huh?
Well, 24-hour news cycle happens all the time. So it's next story. He was still able to play somehow.
Yeah.
Not the same case for Alonzo Trier.
Species. I'm really excited for. Yeah, I'm excited to see how he shapes basketball today, because I think there's going to be more. Basically, he's got something that you can't teach, which is 7 pounds. But I think we're going to see a lot more of the league with that kind of athleticism, kind of like what we saw when I think Brandon Roy was honestly the beginning of this new age of guard that we're seeing. He was that enigma type of athletic ability at 6'3".
It's so funny that you
unstoppable scoring. He could do everything.
It's so funny you bring up Brandon Roy, because I was thinking of kind of like an overall team comp for what the Phoenix Suns are. And I think they're the 2011-12 Blazers with Brandon Roy, Greg Oden, and LaMarcus Aldridge. I think they have a lot of unproven guys that look good on paper, especially if you just sprinkled 5 years down the road when they're 27, they're going to look like Golden State. They might not. They might be the Blazers. Brandon Roy, Devin Booker, Greg Oden, DeAndre Ayton, Josh Jackson, LaMarcus Aldridge. I think you have high lottery picks that need more wins in order for them to get paid. Devin Booker got paid, but Josh Jackson is the guy they drafted in order to be that defensive wing. So he's going to have to step up this next year. TJ Warren is actually only 24.
Yeah. I love looking at this team and what they're capable of in the future.
But I mean, at this point, are you just
Boston had what some people thought was kind of a disappointing year.
This last year?
Josh Jackson had a the first part of the season.
Yeah.
And it messed up his averages. So when you look at his averages, I don't think it's really.
No, he definitely played a lot better towards the end. When he cut his hair, he played a lot better.
Yeah, highlights are from where he was able to slash and he was able to hit the mid-range and stuff. But most of all is the versatility that they have to play inside and outside. So adding Ryan Anderson gives them shooter on the outside. Trevor Ariza, obviously, he's going to shoot 35%. He's been doing that for the last 10 years. He's consistent.
Okay, but would you
TJ
rather
Warren
for this
slash?
Well, Ryan Anderson right there. Would you rather have Ryan Anderson or would you rather have Brandon Knight? I think you need a point guard for this team. You need someone to to help Devin Booker come off screens from. I mean, also TJ Ulis. Why is he still not on this team? He's like a Isaiah Thomas.
I think Isaiah Thomas has too big of an ego for this team. I think what they need is honestly to figure out this group of guys that they've got. So I think that's a guy that's sitting on their bench. He's been in the league for a while, but he hasn't really showed if he's capable. We know he's capable of being an NBA guard, but nobody's sure if he's capable of being healthy for a full season. And that's the real issue, is that in one full season. But he's been around 6 years.
Yeah. And you have Trevor Ariza just signed, trying to be that vet, teaching the young guys how to go.
They've still got Tyson Chandler putting up 6 years old.
Oh, right.
He's been around the league for 18 years. Super Tyson Chandler, being able to bring up a guy like DeAndre Ayton, Josh Jackson, even a veteran like Mikal Bridges. I'm pumped about that guy because that guy can play
Bridges. That was just
both ends of the ball.
Home run pick for the Suns.
That was huge.
How they snagged him from the 76ers.
Yeah.
As he's taking pictures with his mom, storybook ending for the night.
Yeah. I'm really excited about him. So I think that the Suns kind of need to not rush into trading somebody like Ryan Anderson who can be valuable for them. I think they're a lot of money. They could afford to lose him for a guard, but even if picked up, they're going to compete for a championship. Honestly, if they put it all together, they're going to do what the Philadelphia 76ers did last year relative to the Western Conference. So they're going to make it to the second round of the playoffs year. They don't really need to do that. They're probably not going to do that. So I think they need to kind of like figure out this group that they've got and then wait till next year's free agency and try and pick up a guard at that point and then make a run at the playoffs.
So you wouldn't try and trade for Jimmy Butler. You wouldn't try and trade for Kyrie at the trade deadline, especially if Boston won't be desperate, but if Minnesota's desperate and you have Tibbs at the helm and he says, I want Tyson Chandler to go with Karl Anthony Towns or I want Trevor Ariza. I want some defense. I think I can make the playoffs. I'm crazy. I want a pick. I want a young wing. I want Josh Jackson. You wouldn't trade for 1 year.
I was a
Jimmy Butler.
GM, and they said that absolutely Jimmy Butler is like a guy that I think would for a good type of team environment, which he's not getting in Minnesota.
Right.
To Phoenix, I feel like Phoenix has a really good group where Devin Booker definitely wants a winning team. I think he's willing to be a little bit unselfish and selfish at the same time, which is exactly what they need him to do. I feel like he's willing to do whatever it takes to actually win.
I think they're betting on him to be I think they're betting on him to be the James Harden playmaker kind of. I mean,
yeah,
you don't really have any other point guard on the roster that you can really trust. I mean, Troy Daniels, Isaiah Cann, Shaquille Harris, Oakbo. That's just a funny name. No.
Yeah.
They're all
Isaiah Cann,
especially whoever they bring in training camp, all unproven. Even if they bring in Patrick Beverley, I mean, I don't know. Is he a better playmaker than Devin Booker? I don't know.
I like Patrick Beverley, and if they could pick him up the thought that I had was if they could pick up Avery Bradley, Patrick Beverley, and Milos Teodosic from the Clippers, I would absolutely make that trade. That's a killer bundle right there that would fit in perfect with Mikal Bridges, Trevor Ariza. Those are guys I would try to keep. Is if you could keep Trevor Ariza, Mikal Bridges, and then have Avery Bradley, all guys that can make plays. So now is they have the capabilities when Devin Booker's healthy, which they should not been. I'm going to be fighting Golden State, right? They're not going to be Houston or San Antonio or the Lakers.
Right.
They're going to be at the bottom half. Like they're going to be fighting from spots 6 to 12. I think that's where they're going to be. Even without a point guard, I think that's what this team's capable of because they can go up against anybody now with Ayton.
Who does he
like? For example, they can't touch DeAndre Ayton in the paint.
Oh no, Golden State?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with Boogie, probably.
No. I mean, that's a good point, actually. But
he won't be there until
I have my own thoughts on
January, February.
I have my own thoughts on that.
You don't think it's going to work?
I honestly think that it can work. But the team that's averaging the most technicals in the NBA is adding the guy that led the league in technicals last year.
Yeah.
He's not a good teammate. He's never been a good teammate. And I hear people say that he's been a good teammate. I heard Rondo say it. So I don't know. Maybe I just have a bad attitude about him crying all the time, but he's never been a winner. So for him to like bail on the Sacramento or us, sorry, for him to bail on the one disappointing year when they actually made a decent run, I felt like was really disappointing. Really disappointing.
I think for him personally, he kind of sees KD and he thinks he's on that level.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to have that kind of a redemption where he wins and he's a big contributor. He may contribute, he may not.
And I don't see that. I don't see them as the same type of players. Like Kevin Durant actually really surprised me in that he received a great deal of criticism, which he should have received. He joined a 73-win team after the Western Conference Finals and nearly beat that team. One of the most I honestly never been so angry was when Kevin Durant did that. To leave a Western Conference Finals team that was capable of winning a championship and left for arguably the best team in history. A 73-win team.
Well, let me ask you this, Miles. Let me ask you this. You're a high school 400, or you're a college 400, 800 guy, and you transfer from your school your senior year or your fifth year, graduate transfer to one of these big Oregon D1 schools. Is that the same thing?
It depends on how valuable I am. If you're like
huh?
I don't know. I feel like if I'm University of Oregon and I'm running for Texas A&M, for a national team, the number one guy at 400, 800, over to Oregon, that's the same thing. And I would never do that. I wouldn't.
To the franchise, to the school that gave you everything, that built you from nothing to where you are.
Yeah.
To then just jump ship because it's technically better for your story and for your career.
I don't think it was better for his career. I really don't. I think he's going to end up leaving Golden State and trying to make his career better. He's going to try to fix his career that he's sort of ruined, because nobody's saying Kevin Durant won a championship. Everyone's saying Golden State won another championship. They did say Steph Curry got a championship.
So, crystal ball, where do we think Kevin Durant, where does he go then? If he leaves Golden State, where does he go? Does he go to Brooklyn? Jimmy Butler just came out today. Jimmy Butler just came out today and said, I want to be traded to one of three places reportedly. The Clippers, the Knicks, and Brooklyn. The Knicks and Brooklyn are very interesting because the media is trying to build up this KD to New York saga drama thing where Kyrie ultimately joins him and they win and James Dolan sells the team and it all comes together and I'll have a happy Knick family where they can just suck the ratings out of the giant ESPN 10.
They can keep dreaming.
But Jimmy Butler comes along and says, I'm just going to go there. And whoever comes with me, that's going to be the narrative. I'm not going to Los Angeles Lakers. I'll go to the Clippers because I don't want the narrative to be I joined LeBron's team. And that should tell you, guys around the league don't want to join LeBron's team. Fringe guys who want rings.
He said the Clippers is where he wanted to go.
Clippers, Brooklyn, New York. Those were the three that he would be preferred
I could actually
to trade to.
Fitting with the Clippers. But like I said, I'd like to see the Clippers kind of parted out to Phoenix. So back to Phoenix, I'd like to see Milos Teodosic go to the Suns because he's going to be a free agent after this year. Whether he stays back to Europe, it is up to the same amount of money in Europe. But he could definitely be a star.
You got to chase the NBA contract.
Like 8 years ago. Yeah, so I think he's one of my favorite guards to watch. His court vision's through the. He's like a John Stockton kind of playing in today's league almost.
I think you miss Steve Nash is the thing.
I do miss Steve Nash.
And you want the closest thing to it, which is Teodosic.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And this coach, let's talk about him for a second. Coach Igor, I don't know how to say his name. I just call him Coco. Koskov? Yeah, I call him Coco. I like this guy.
Koskov
has said he can coach any game style. And he's not sure how this team is going to play out. He's been coaching since, 90-something? Over 20 years. I think longer than I've been alive, he's been coaching. So he coached in the early 2000s, the Detroit Pistons era, with Wallace, Bill, them. So he coached alongside that team, which was a very much half-court team. They were old, they were slow, they were big. It was a good team, though. Defensive-minded. And then he coached. Nash was in Phoenix. So when Nash, Amari, Marion, that high speed, what the Rockets are now, that started with Phoenix. And that's when, obviously, the Spurs were the Phoenix Suns' kryptonite, and they could not beat them. And obviously, big shot Rob laying that big hit on Steve Nash. That changed the series.
He was hired by the Jazz in 2015. So he was with when Quinn Snyder took over, and actually he filled in for Quinn Snyder a couple games. Yeah, and the Jazz were a quality team, coached and developed.
Yeah.
And if you can kind of mimic that for Phoenix,
yeah,
there you go. You got something.
I really kind of think he knows how to. What?
Oh, nothing.
I think he knows how to take like a group of guys that maybe not everybody would see going together or not knowing exactly what pace they want to play and being able to make it work. So like I said, having Ayton, Chandler, even Dragan Bender, having Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson will go down in the post.
Ryan Anderson wants to show he can play.
They've got guys that'll rebound, yeah. Ryan Anderson is amazing at moving without the ball. I think that's going to be really key for him.
He just he just didn't make Mike D'Antoni's rotation. And if you're not in the rotation, you just won't ever play ever. Good night. The fat lady has sung.
Yeah, he can rebound. He's smart. He just knows where to go on the court. You can tell. And I think that's going to work. The floor and give Booker his space, but they also need to be able to make plays so that not everybody's just going to collapse on.
I think
because they can throw the ball down to him on the.
I think Ayton thinks it's going to be the Ayton show. Ayton thinks it's going to be. I'm going to get a lot of touches. I'm going to get a lot of post ups, but he's going to realize that only Joel Embiid gets post ups. You're going to have to screen and roll and rebound and putbacks, screen and pop. Maybe get something going in transition.
What I like about Phoenix, though, is guys like Josh Jackson, they're slashers. They don't necessarily want to play on a pick and roll.
That's true.
I think they want to slash, and if they run Ayton off of like a weak side block, cut under the rim while they're slashing, and they figure out that timing, I think they're going to be a really tough team to stop, actually, in the future. If they get at a point of the year. But
what better mentor than Tyson Chandler? I mean, he won a championship in Dallas, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's still producing. Randolph's still producing at his age, doing his same thing. But Tyson Chandler is a way better example. I didn't even really realize it. I am upset that the Phoenix Suns lost Alan Williams. He's on a two-way contract in Brooklyn against him, and he was a beast in high school.
I remember you texting me about him last year, about how he was he made the rotation. He was like a small three, guarding the wing.
Yeah. Rebound the basketball.
We haven't even mentioned that they just totally gave up on Marquise Chris.
Yeah. I'm not exactly
Did Ryan McDonough draft him? Did he take over before then? Or did he draft him? I think he did, right? It wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it seems like it was really fast. And they're like, never mind.
I think it's really hard when you're 19 and a project, and it's the age of social media where you go online and you're told you suck over and over and over and over and over again. Instead of, maybe back in a couple years ago, when you're Kevin Garnett's age, you're in Minnesota, no one cares about you. They just want to see you do well. But today,
I think it does have to take a toll, especially at 19 years old. Like I remember looking back. I look back now for me 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So 19 years old, you really have not seen much of the world.
Even 20. Give it 20.
Yeah, 20. So people start down on you, especially when you're coming from so fast. You're coming from high school where everybody's all over you. They love you, and you're going to be the next LeBron. You go to college, and people are talking about your future.
One and done. You're going to be one and done.
Yeah.
What age are you going to sign with?
Max contracts. You're going to be making hundreds of millions of dollars. And then you get there, and people all of a sudden kind of turn on you when you're not.
Let's actually play that out. You think Alonzo Trier, you, DeAndre Ayton, Raleigh Alkins. You think Arizona is going to make Final Four, championship, Pac-12. You're going to get most outstanding player. Instead, they got bounced. Instead, Sean Miller almost lost his effing job. Alonzo Trier, undrafted. Raleigh Alkins, second-round pick, undrafted. I think he's with Memphis, right?
Yeah, something like that. I'd have to look it up.
You're still the number one pick. You still go to the Phoenix Suns, which is, just crazy in and of itself.
Yeah.
And now you're the face of the franchise. The Phoenix chose, they could have gone Marvin Bagley. They could have gone Luka Doncic, but they went for the physical, dominating DeAndre Ayton. And that's going to set their whole future. And they're going to play the what-if game, but, everybody was for Greg Oden when he was taken.
Reasons for, yeah. And they had good reasons for taking those other guys. Doncic, they had a good reason bringing in and having a EuroLeague guy and a EuroLeague that actually would have worked really well.
See,
then they had Marvin Bagley, who had growing up there, high school there,
in Phoenix.
But I think they had three guys, and they chose 8, and that means something.
Yeah. I mean, and just listening to Ayton in interviews, I think he has the competitive, F you kind of mentality. Joel Embiid, I'm going to beat you, dominate you every night. And it may not be this season, it may not be next season, but eventually I think that pans out better than timid, passive kind of thing. I mean, I think he's more Joel Embiid than Dwight or Emeka.
He's also got a maturity level that's a little bit better than those other guys. I think Luka actually is going to adapt to the league really fast. Like I said, I think he's going to fit into a really specific situation. I don't know. I can't tell if he's going to dominate yet.
I'm going to go Skip Bayless.
Seems like he's going to end up being
and I'm going to go, why didn't we draft Trae Young with the first pick, Phoenix Suns? He's the best playmaker. He's the best shooter. Analytics wins. Josh Jackson, Devin Booker, Trae Young. We're going to shoot. We're going to win. And then
throw the ball away. We're going to shoot a really low percentage.
Devin Booker's going to be double teamed.
It's like the opposite of having Steve Nash, having Trae Young.
Oh gosh. I think Trae Young's gonna be good. I think you give him 5 years.
5 years is a long time to give a rookie, especially the fifth pick of the draft.
Okay.
I mean, you don't plan that far ahead if you think he's gonna.
Not 5 years.
And I think say stay in college for another 3, and then I'll draft you when you're ready to play in the NBA. He shot 3 for 24 in the summer league.
Summer league don't matter.
I know this. I know summer league's not a good indication of how he's going to play his rookie season, but he throws a lot of turnovers. He fouls a lot, and his effort on defense is not that good. And for an undersized guard, he needs to be way better.
Here's a Phoenix conspiracy theory. Crystal ball again. Crystal ball part 2. What would it look like if LaMarcus Aldridge signed with Phoenix that offseason, 2014, 2016? Instead of San Antonio.
What would it look like now?
Yeah, what would that look like? Tyson Chandler, LaMarcus Aldridge.
I think they would have done too good to get good draft picks. So I don't think they'd have Josh Jackson. I don't think they'd have Ayton.
Devin Booker? They won't have Devin Booker.
I don't think they'd have Booker. I think it would have really messed them up. And I was looking at that, and the Phoenix Suns really know how to rebuild a team.
Yeah, they've done it with Bledsoe. They almost made the playoffs, and then they hit the fast, hard reset.
Yeah, like Steve Nash going to LA was a big deal. Amari Stoudemire dropping off the face of the earth and going to the Big Three somehow.
He went to Israel.
Just saw that.
He went to Israel before he went to the Big Three. I think he like owns a team over there or something.
He just like fell off the face of the earth. Or sorry, Sean Marion went to Dallas or something. They lost everybody. So it went from a let's see what football's doing. Baseball, maybe. We got a soccer team now. Let's see how the Coyotes are doing. Oh, yeah, basketball's good again.
The Cardinals almost won a effing Super Bowl.
Yeah. Phoenix always has something going good for it, usually, and a lot of things going bad.
That's where that's like actually where you live, right? When you're not traveling and going to all these places to repair things.
Yeah, Phoenix.
That's cool.
That's my hometown. Mesa, technically, but I say Phoenix.
So Mesa is a suburb, or Mesa is like?
Yeah, Mesa is a suburb, so it's the east.
Oh, cool. That's actually pretty. I didn't know that. I didn't know you were actually from Phoenix.
Yeah, technically.
That is really cool.
But Mesa has a big enough population now that we're just calling it Mesa. Yeah, we probably have enough content, huh?
Well, I was gonna say let's look at the draft because I think they're gonna be a shit team.
You think Phoenix is? What's your prediction? Make your prediction.
Let's just go over under. Let's look at the Vegas odds and then for season wins, and then take the over under.
I'm gonna say 37.
You think 37? Okay, so how do I look this up? Let's keep the talking train rolling. Okay, so I'm on NBADraft.net 2019 mock. RJ Barrett, number 1, Phoenix Suns, shooting guard out of Duke. He would probably do very well. I think any one of the top 3 picks would do very well. But Miles is saying you don't even need it. You just need your team. You just need the camaraderie.
Yeah, I think they have enough picks already. I think you can get really bogged down in trying to like rebuild. There comes a point where you need to pick up a free agent, hint to the Portland Trailblazers because they've been drafting really well and they haven't been able to put together a good team to make a deep playoff run. And it's because they don't go after those free agents that they really need. And it's not the superstar free agents. They don't need the superstars like Carmelo Anthony, although that would have been cool. They need the guys like Avery Bradley, 3-and-D guys, Patrick Beverly, the guys that are going to make a difference. In every single NBA team, you see that.
Trevor Ariza.
NBA championship team. Yeah, exactly.
Eric Gordon, Trevor Ariza. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Warriors have Draymond Green. The San Antonio Spurs had Danny Green. They had Kawhi Leonard.
Wow.
The Cleveland
So
Cavaliers
I think you need to go to Vegas and you need to go and put your bets on Phoenix Suns because it says projected wins is 28.5 for Phoenix Suns. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
28.5. Portland Trailblazers are at even 42, just for reference.
I could buy that.
I'll buy that too.
I think that the Suns are actually deeper.
They actually
don't have that backcourt. Or
right.
Sorry, the Suns don't have the backcourt, not even close.
The only other teams less is the Kings at 26 and then the Atlanta Hawks at 23.5. See,
I don't see how the Suns are even in the same category as the Hawks and the Kings.
You're talking potential six seed. You think Devin Booker takes
37 wins isn't going to get you.
Okay, is Devin Booker an all-star?
Yes. No question. He's averaging 20. He's going to average 25, 5, and 5. Maybe not 5 rebounds if 8.
Actually, I think you might be right. He could very well average that. And if they have a 500 record, by the All-Star break, I think you got to give it to him.
That'd be a stretch. Yeah, that's true. I think it will depend on how Phoenix is doing.
Yeah.
Because I think they'll probably start slow. It's going to go one of two ways. Either way, they're going to have like a rough patch, like a few of them, where they're trying to figure out a new coach.
Oh yeah. And DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah.
How does that even fit?
They've got young players. I don't even think we mentioned T.J. Warren. Did we?
T.J. Warren is a good player. T.J. Warren's per 36 are very good.
Yeah.
They have him locked up.
Efficiency rating is great.
2022. Even if T.J. Warren is a trade bait and you want to get a point guard, he's only 24.
I'd keep him.
I think you keep him too. I think you developed him. There's a reason you took him. I think out of Maryland, right?
They've got so many weapons. They can play the post. They've got guys that love to slash, and they've got shooters now.
North Carolina State. Yeah.
And what they need to do, I think they've got a smart coach that can utilize that as well. And what they need to do is figure out how to make that work and then get a point guard, a playmaker, Milos Teodosic, who's going to be a pass-first guy.
Yeah, because
a Serbian guard playing under a Croatian coach.
Warren's going to want to score at least 20.
Yeah, he was close to 20 last year. I think he was averaging 19 or something like that last year.
19.6.
I think with Ayton in the mix,
right around 50%.
I think with Ayton in the mix, it's going to be hard for him to do that.
Especially when you're shooting 22% from three. Yeah, it's going to be hard with Ayton clogging that paint.
He might get better looks, though. My guess is people's shooting percentage in Phoenix goes up because they're going to be able – defenses are going to have to collapse, especially as undersized as the NBA is in general. And the big men that are in the league now, let's say Jusuf Nurkic or Boogie Cousins, they're not going to be fast enough with Ayton's athleticism.
Nurkic is fast. Nurkic is, but I can see Nurkic being taken to school by.
I can actually see Collins being able to kind of give Ayton a little bit of trouble, maybe.
Yeah,
I think he's competitive enough.
Zach Collins is very competitive.
Yeah.
He's got like a Vegas toughness to him. Like he's almost like a hockey player, I think.
Yeah, he's young too. I like him. I think I'm interested to see Phoenix versus Portland because that'll kind of be my baseline for
who you root for,
how things go.
Yeah, how things go.
What's that?
Who you root for?
Yeah, what I see as the biggest difference is that Phoenix has the ability to stop people with Trevor Ariza and the potential of Mikal Bridges, Ayton down in the paint, Chandler, and Portland really doesn't have that.
Actually, that's a very, very good argument. And Josh Jackson.
And Jackson, yeah. And I think under a European coach, at least my hope is that we're kind of going to see a new age
just run and gun
type of team where they focus. Yeah. I'm hoping so. Because their potential, this is what I wrote down. They can run Devin Booker if they're healthy. Devin Booker, Booker I've never really seen impress me on the defensive end of the floor. But Bridges can definitely play on the defensive end of the floor.
Where are you giving starting five?
Not necessarily. I'm kind of giving like subbing rotations.
Okay.
Like the potential that they could run Devin Booker and Mikal and run Warren and Trevor Ariza or a Josh Jackson in there. Like they can always have a defensive-minded player mixed with a player who can get buckets.
Yeah, and then when, it's nearing summer, they can just play Shaquille Harrison and all these D-leaguers. And
Isaiah Cannon. You know what? I like Cannon because I watched his videos, and that guy can hit some off-center shots. Really off balance.
He killed the Portland Trailblazers in that Houston Rockets series.
Yeah. He can hit off-balance shots.
He got hot for he hit 3 threes in a row or something.
Yeah. He can shoot the ball. He can drive. He can hit that little mid-range. Just never a full season, which I don't know if you can really bank on that, to be honest.
No.
That's a tough thing, especially in the NBA, to put all of your marbles in the one guy's basket. I think they just need to experiment and try anything they want at point guard and make these 8 guys work together really well.
All right.
I think they'll be like
what?
11 or 12 in the West.
12th is a 12th in the West. I mean, who's worse, Sacramento and
maybe they'll be higher. I don't know. I might have to re-guess that one. 37 wins though. That's my guess.
37? Yeah. What was the 28? Yeah, I think they can get to 30. Trevor Ariza knows what it takes. Tyson Chandler knows what it takes.
That's the thing. Yeah, Ryan Anderson, they've guys I think that can bring up the younger talent.
Yeah, I think Ryan McDonough kind of feels the heat and the fire a little bit, but also another tanking year would really give them a nice elite core. If they want to be like the 76ers, if they want to be like the Golden State Warriors, I think they need one more. They need a tank. They need to get RJ Barrett. They need to get Nazir Little. They need to get Zion Williamson. They need to get one of these guys.
Everybody could use Zion Williamson, but I think they need to pick up out of free agency next year. They just need to do their thing with no pressure at all.
Then why not trade for Kyrie? Or trade for
Kyrie Irving? Then absolutely trade for him. But I don't think Kyrie wants to come play in Phoenix. Why would he come to the West?
That's true.
To play for Phoenix? No.
I'm just trying to skip Bayless, you man. Yeah. I think they need a tank, another year of tanking, maybe get Bol.
That one is interesting.
He would not fit with them.
Why not?
Cam Reddish, Nazir Little, RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett would be the real. If they can get the top pick and pick RJ.
Bol can move the floor.
Bol is projected. He might not do that well in his first year at Oregon. I think he's gonna be shocked when he hits Pac-12 play.
I bet he blocks a lot of shots still.
No, I think he gets it going, but I think he also struggles a bit. And I think that makes him not a top 5 pick. I think he goes like 7.
I wouldn't mind seeing him stay in college a little bit.
Very much so. Very much so.
More guys should consider that.
I hope he falls in love with Eugene. I think he'll like it there. I hope they show him. I know they'll show him a good time, but I mean, Oregon has a couple one and doneers. They had a couple 5-star recruits.
They did a couple years ago too, and they got them all to leave.
Well, Damian Dotson is on the New York Knicks. All right, so I think it's good for number 2.
Yep.
Who should we do next time? Who's number 28? 28?
I don't know. I kind of want to do an exciting team, like the Lakers.
Let's do the Wizards.
Okay. Actually, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, let's do it.
Wizards. All right. Signing off.